I am a big believer in questioning the answer. I came from a space where growing up, I came from like a punk rock space. And so that always kind of made you go, well, why does anybody think this? Why do we believe this? Why are we accepting this? And so, entering an academic space, we're talking about science and we're talking about procedures. And I love getting my students to kind of go, well, why? Why are we doing that? And, I think from an outside perspective, it's hard to imagine like a punk ethos coming into a behavioral science. I do think that like behavior science is 100% like a very punk rock science. Like it came out from a space where everybody was like, no way, language is innate. And then we were like, nah, guys, like check this out. So, there is a little bit of that, but I love just getting people to critically think and really think deeply about what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why is this important? When it comes to ethics and people are like, oh, that's unethical. I go, well, why? Tell me why. And, I think that from a practical standpoint, I learned that from the punk rock community, but I have to think specifically Bill Carlucci and Ed Blakely for teaching me to kind of think about that too. I'll never forget the first time I did a functional analysis. We were in a group home and we were working with this learner who had like really severe SIB, and we called in Dr. Ed Blakely to come in and help with this functional analysis. We run the conditions and we go outside and he stops and he goes, okay guys, well, what do you think about that? And we were like, we don't know, dude. Like, that's why we called you. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, but like, what do you think? So he kind of pushed me to think like that. And that's how I approach teaching, is like getting people to really think deeply about that, and also sharing diverse examples. I think it's really easy to go, oh, well, I work with this autistic child in a clinic and here's what we do with verbal behavior. But I'm like, okay, well, here's, an example of a prison, and here's an example of what it's like to work in a group home, and here's like what it looks like to work as a supervisor and how to shape your trainees' behavior. So I always try to include those examples too, to kind of really push those boundaries a little bit.